have a seat chair with you, and you might want to have some of your props if you know that you use those props, but they're not absolutely necessary if you don't have them. Make sure though that you do have a chair to sit on. And of course, all the practices are, they come with lots of options. And I encourage you to choose the options that are appropriate for you. So especially since we're each practicing in our own space, and I can't necessarily see what you aren't or are doing, the onus is on you to make sure that you're practicing safe and appropriately for yourself. So one of the ways that I encourage you to make that decision is to gauge the amount of energy that you need to expel. Remembering that you do want to come back and practice yet again another day, hopefully tomorrow or the day after. And so you don't want to use up so much energy that you feel exhausted or sore or tender so that you don't practice the next day. But you also want to make sure that you're using enough energy that you're present. So one of the indicators I suggest is as you practice, as you make the choices in how you're going to move and breathe, that you do so in a way where you couldn't actually maybe plan a grocery list or think about other ideas or memories while you're practicing. That's usually a good indicator. If your mind can kind of float away, then maybe you can up your challenge just a little bit. Okay, but if you find that you're getting to a place where you're holding your breath or you're starting to feel fatigued, then maybe you've gone a little bit too far. So you're going to gauge that for yourself. Okay, so we have about a minute to go, so everybody can start getting ready and set up in their chair. Make sure that you're seated with your feet flat on the floor. So for most of us, that requires you to sit a little bit away from the back of the chair. Great. And let your hands rest onto your lap. So welcome, everybody. It's so good to have you here. I'm so glad we've been able to do this and come back together as a group. These classes have been going really well. So let's get started. In your seat with your hands resting on your thighs, close your eyes. Now, if it doesn't feel comfortable for you to close your eyes, that is okay. You can keep your eyes open. Allow your eyes to go soft a little bit. And now as you come into your practice, feel a sort of collecting up. Depending on what you've done already this morning. Some of you I know like to practice in your pajamas, so maybe you just rolled out of bed, or maybe you've been up for a little while. Take this opportunity as we come to the start of the practice to collect up the aspects of yourself that maybe feel a little distracted, a little drawn away. And now start to deepen your breathing. In a gentle way, start to draw more air in through your nose. Let it fill up the lungs and expand the belly. And then gently start to encourage the belly back in. So you can do a little bit of belly contraction, pulling the belly in, letting the breath come back up and out the nose. As you inhale, the breath comes in, the belly goes soft, filling up the lungs. And then as you exhale, you're containing the belly in. Now you're drawing it in and helping to press the air back up and out. So a little bit more active breathing here. We call this our yogic breath. It's our deep belly breathing. As you start to feel an accentuation of your breathing, see if you can let parts of your body go a little softer, maybe the shoulders, maybe the features of your face. Maybe you notice a bit of tension in your hands or your feet. See if you can soften those places. Continuing that yogic breathing, that deep belly breath. Start to add in some movement now. So gently start to turn your head towards your right, just as far as is comfortable. And then bring your head back into center and gently turn it towards the left. And a reminder here that these motions, they don't have to be very big or fast. Any little motion here in the neck is helpful. We're just warming things up here. So we want to go nice and slow and build our awareness, build our consciousness of our movements. Taking the head from side to side, One more time, we'll turn towards the left. And as you come to the left with your head, gently let the chin drop down towards the left shoulder, glide it across your chest and let it lift up over the right shoulder. So you're gazing to the right. And then again, let the chin come down and across and towards the left. Nice and slow, moving with your breathing. And you're welcome to stay with these kind of half circles, these crescent moon-like motions with the head. Especially if you have any concerns along the neck, we want to go gentle and slow there. If the neck is feeling okay, the next time your chin is over the right shoulder, take an inhale breath and start to allow your head to roll back and over to the left shoulder. Exhaling again as the chin comes down and across. Inhaling as the head rolls back and across to the left, and then exhale down and across to the right. One more time like that. Using your inhale breath as a bit of support there for the head as it rolls back. And then let's pause and change the direction. Moving the head now to the left. Inhaling as the head rolls back and exhaling as it comes down and across. Inhaling. As you lift your chin up, you look towards the ceiling and over to the right. Then you exhale as the chin comes down and across. One more time like that. Good. And bringing your head back into center, aligning your head on top of the neck. So some of us, it feels nice to kind of give the head a little wobble, bring it right on top of the neck. And then you can start to move your shoulders, taking your shoulders in some circles, moving the shoulders to begin together. So they're in tandem, they're moving together. Again, this motion doesn't need to be very big. Just create a little bit of motion in those shoulders. See how it feels. And then let's try circling them the other way. Go the opposite direction. Good. Nice. Let's take the shoulders now, both of them together. Lift them up towards your ears. So you're going to lose your neck here as you shrug your shoulders to your ears. And now drink a deep breath in. Really fill up. As you exhale out your mouth now, you're going to let your shoulders drop. Inhale through the nose, fill up, shoulders up. Exhale out the mouth, let them go. Good. Inhale, shoulders up. Exhale, let it go. Good. Keep going. Inhaling. Exhaling. Let's keep going like this. You can speed it up a little bit for yourself if it feels okay, or keep it nice and slow. Ensuring here that you're inhaling through the nose and exhaling out the mouth. And now if this starts to feel too much for your shoulders, you can always release the shoulders, but keep the breath going. So with or without shoulders. Good, 3 more. Last one. Very nice. Inhale now, shoulders up, big breath in, fill up, shrug those shoulders as high as you can, sit up nice and tall, hold that breath in for just a moment, and now let the breath come out the nose nice and slow as the shoulders make their way back down. Good. Let's give the jaw a little bit of a wiggle here. Wiggle the nose. I don't know if you can see the details of my face, but you're moving all the features of your face here around in all their various directions. Kind of scrunching up the forehead maybe, scrunching up the lips, the nose, and then widening everything out. And then scrunching it all up and then widening it out. So just getting some motion, some movement in the face. Go ahead, wiggle that jaw. Roll and wiggle the shoulders. Nice. Let's take our hands now forward onto the kneecaps. Again, it's nice sometimes to start off by just warming up the knees with the hands. And then holding your kneecaps, straightening your arms, sitting up tall. Good. Start to press down into both feet and you'll feel some strength come up your legs. As you inhale, you'll draw your belly forward, lift your chest up, lift your chin up. And then exhale, let's round in, tuck the chin in, round the spine, look towards your belly. Good. Inhale, come forward with the belly, lift the chest, lift the chin, look up. And then exhale, curling down and in, rolling. Good. Back and forth like this. And once again, take this motion only within the range that feels appropriate for you. So if you have any injuries or soreness in the back, maybe your motion is a little bit smaller. That's perfectly okay. Maybe if there's any advanced osteoporosis for you, the motion isn't really back and forth. Maybe you're working to simply sit upwards as tall as you can and breathe nice and deep. Good. If you're oscillating the spine, let's do a couple more like this, going forward and back. Good. Letting the shoulders move, the head move. Nice. Next time you come forward, shift your chest over towards your right. Exhale, round in through center and go towards your left. Inhale up through center and go towards your right. And then exhale through center and go towards your left. So we're starting to circle things here. Get some motion going through the spine, through the rib cage. You might feel a little bit of motion in the hips, the shoulders, the neck. Good. And let's reverse it. Let's go the other way. Reverse the other direction. Keep that breath full. Really good. Come back into center now. Let's turn the palms up. Sit up nice and tall and give the fingers a good wiggle. Some of you might just curl all the fingers in and expand them out a few times. Some of you might feel better just by wiggling the fingers around, rolling the wrists. I just want a little bit of motion in the hands, a little bit of blood flowing down in there. Scrunch and release a few times, and then do the same with your feet. You can rest your hands down. You're going to lift the toes up, wiggle them around as best you can, and then maybe you plop those toes back down, lift your heels up, wiggle them around as you can, and then go back and forth like that a few times, just getting a bit of motion in the joints of the ankles and the toes. A couple more times like that. Good. Then you can rest the feet back down. We'll let the arms hang at the sides and start to sit even taller. Really nice. Okay, let's take the right leg up. We'll start by taking our right leg up just as high as is comfortable. Your hands will come around your right thigh, or if it's available, around your right shin. A couple things to keep in mind here. As we go to lift the leg, we often start to lean back. So make sure that you're sitting up nice and tall. Your shoulders are staying relatively over your hips as you hug the leg in. As you give the leg a good squeeze in, start to point and flex your right foot a few times. And we'll roll that right ankle. Really start to warm up the joint of the ankle. And let's roll the ankle the other way. Very nice. And now take the right foot and flex it upwards towards the knee as best you can. You'll feel the muscles in the leg start to fire. Your hands can come underneath your right thigh and allow your right thigh to drop down into your hands. So you're sort of supporting the weight of the right leg with the strength of your arms and the lift through the spine. As you inhale now, go ahead and extend out your right leg just as much as is comfortable. So it doesn't have to go straight. Take your next exhale and bend your right knee, hugging the leg back up and in. Good. Let the leg come down as you inhale and extend it out, holding onto the leg with your hands. Then exhale, bend the knee and lift it up. One more time, let's inhale and extend it out. Very nice, and then exhale, bend the knee and lift it up. Good. This time I'm going to have you extend your leg out just again as far as it's comfortable. So maybe for you the knee stays bent. That's okay. Wherever the leg is, maintain that as you start to gently release your hands. Now you might completely release the arms and take them up overhead, but for many of us you might continue to hold the leg a little bit, give it some support. So either option is okay. Wherever you are though, lift up through the spine, get nice and tall, reach through that right leg. Good. Keep the breath moving. Big full breaths. Good. If your right leg starts to shake, that's okay. A little shaking's not so bad, but we're gonna very slowly control the release of the leg and place it down onto the floor. From here, as you exhale, let yourself fold forward. Now, if there's any concern for blood pressure, keep your head above your heart and prop yourself up on your elbows. If there's no concern for your blood pressure here, you might allow yourself to fold all the way down, letting the head go. Hands can come onto the tops of the feet or shins. As you inhale and glide your hands up your legs, past your thighs, past your belly, your chest towards the sky, and then exhale and fold forward. Good. Inhale, rolling up, reaching up, looking up, and then exhale, let it go. Good. One more time like that. Inhale, roll up, sweep up, and then exhale. Let it all go. Very nice. Let's roll back up to seated. Now we have to do the other leg. So you're going to lift your left leg up. Take your hands underneath your left thigh or around your shin. So interlacing the fingers is the most supportive for people, but if that's not available for you, you can always take a hold of your wrist with one hand. I don't know if you can see that. And just hold around the leg or under the leg like that. Hugging the leg in just as much as is comfortable. Noticing if you're starting to lean back, ensure you're sitting upright, and then you can start to point and flex your left foot. And you can roll your left ankle. And then roll the ankle the other way. And just like we did with the right foot, now take your left foot, flex it up towards the knee. Beautiful. Take your hands around the thigh if they're not already there, and allow the leg to drop into the hands. So you're actually holding your leg up using your arm strength and your back strength. As you inhale now, extend that left leg out as best you can. Then exhale, bend the knee, lift the leg up. Inhale, let the leg come down and out. Exhale, bend it and lift it up. Good. One more time as we inhale, extending the leg out. And then exhale, bending the knee and lifting it up. Good. This time, because we all know what's coming, you're going to inhale and extend the leg up just as much as comfortable. Slowly, gently starting to release the grip of the hands. Some of you might extend your arms up. Some of you might keep your arms down or keep holding the leg. Any option along that path is perfect. Just stay where you are and breathe here. Press a little stronger into the right foot, the foot that's on the floor. Lift a little higher, keep that breath moving. And then with some control, slowly start to lower that left foot towards the floor. Take your next exhale breath and fold down. Hands to the feet or the shins, and inhale, roll up. Sweep those arms up, reach up, look up. Exhale, fold forward. Good, inhale, rolling up. Sweeping up. Exhale, let it go. One more time, big inhale. Big exhale. Very nice. Bringing your hands back up onto your knees, sitting up nice and tall. Good. All right, from here, let's go a little bit more now for the spine before we come up to stand. So you're going to take your upper body and walk yourself towards your right. So from the right, this will have your left hip hanging off the front of the chair. So make sure your chair feels pretty stable and that your right foot is flat on the floor. So sometimes it's nice to put a book or a block underneath your right foot to give it some extra support. Your right hand is actually on the back of the chair. So you're resting your right hand there, and your left foot can stay planted where it is beside the right foot, especially if you have any concern with your knee, your hip, or your ankle. If these joints are feeling okay today, there's no injury or concern there, you can take your left foot back into a little bit of a lunge. Okay? You might have your back toes tucked under like I do, or you might untuck them so the top of the foot is on the floor. Your toes will tell you pretty quick which option feels best for you. So both feet, however they're positioned, are pressing a little bit into the ground. Good. Then from that downward direction in the legs, you might feel your upper body get a little bit taller. All right, you're welcome to stay like this. If it feels okay for you, you might extend your left arm up overhead and then start to arc over the chair. So you're reaching your left arm out over the chair. Keep pressing down through both feet. Breathing deep into the belly. And inhale back up into center. Now take that left hand, bring it around to the back of the chair. So you're actually holding on to the back of the chair with both hands, gently twisting and looking over the back of the chair. Both legs are strong, pressing down through both legs. Some of you might release your right arm out behind you and look towards your right thumb. Deepen that breath in the belly. Big full breaths here. If your right hand is extended, bring it back onto the chair. Slowly unwind your upper body, and then take your time. Bring that left foot forward. Pause with both feet on the floor before you walk yourself all the way around to the other side. So now we're all the way over to the left. This allows your right hip, we want the right hip kind of hanging off the chair a little bit. This will give the hips some space to move. Then you can take your right foot back into your lunge or keep your right foot beside your left foot. That's okay. whatever's appropriate for your joints, your body. Then take your right arm out and up overhead. And extend over the chair. So you're curving your upper body over the chair. Remember, as you start to curve and move the upper body, we want to stabilize the lower body. So press downwards in the feet. Good. Arcing over. Nice. With your inhale, rise back up. Take that right hand, bring it around now to the back of the chair. So you're holding the back of the chair with both hands. Looking over the back of the chair. Pressing down into both feet. Deep breaths here. Maybe you release that left arm out behind you. Maintain though an ease of breathing. If you start to feel a little short of breath, release the posture slightly. Let yourself breathe deeply. If your left hand is extended, bring your left hand back onto the chair. Then gently unwind your upper body. Step that right foot up beside your left foot. Good. And then walk yourself around towards the front. Well done. With your feet on the floor, now have a little glance at your feet. Make sure there's some space between your feet, but they're not too wide. So they're about in line with your hips. Hands now can come forward and up. Again, lifting them as comfortably as you can. So you gauge that by your shoulders. If your shoulders don't enjoy going past shoulder height, that's okay. Keep your arms straight forward. Otherwise, extending anywhere that's appropriate for you. Good. As you press down into your feet, once again, feel that lift up through the body. Okay, again, you are welcome to stay as you are, especially if there's something going on in your knees today. Stay like this, arms extended, heart open, breath moving. If the knees and low back are feeling okay today, you can use a little bit of belly support here as you press into your feet and lift up out of your chair, extending upwards towards the sky, looking up. Then as you exhale, bend your knees, sit your hips back as though you were gonna sit all the way back and down. Maybe even do that, sit all the way back and down into your chair. Good. Let's press into the feet, lift up, rise up. Really good, reach up. Good, look up. As you exhale, let the arms come down and around behind you, planting your palms at the back of your hips. Lift your shoulders up, roll your shoulders back. Good. Hug the elbows a little closer together, and then start to tip down through the back of the body, right around the hips. Let that tip down just a little as you lift your heart up. Good, so lifting the heart up towards the ceiling. Now be mindful, if there's concern along the spine, don't concern yourself with trying to arc backwards. That's not necessary. Focus more on lifting upwards, getting longer. If there's no injury or concern for the spine, you might hug those shoulder blades a little closer and allow that upper back to start to curve slightly back. Press into both feet. Ensure that you're breathing here. We've got one more breath like this. Then inhale, rise back up. And exhale, release your arms. Good, let's come into our Tadasana together, feet planted, palms forward, shoulders back. If you feel steady here, go ahead and close your eyes. If you're not feeling terribly steady today, that's okay. Keep your eyes open. Release the hands for a moment, give them a shake, give the legs a little bit of a shake. And let's take the chair now over to the right-hand side of your mat. So I have my mat probably a little bit different than yours. I'm running it so that you can see all length of my mat. But you're gonna have your chair on the side. So it'll look more like this on the side of the mat, facing one short end of your mat. Okay. So with your chair on your right side, let's make the left foot today, the left foot the standing foot. Press into your left foot. Strengthen up that left leg. Stand nice and tall. And then maybe you lift your right heel from the floor. Maybe you lift your toes. Maybe you lift your right knee up. Good. Continue the work though in that left leg. So whether the right foot is lifted or not, it's not essential. We're working the strength of that left leg, feeling the foot on the floor. Maybe your left arm comes up. And for some of you, you might pause here and start to work with your balance, lifting and lowering the right hand on the chair. Maybe lifting all but one finger, maybe lifting the whole hand, coming into any variation of your balance. One more breath like this. Then allow that hand, that right hand down. The left hand now will come across to your right thigh, and you'll slowly start to turn to look over the chair. Full breathing here. Those of you who are working to challenge your balance a little bit more, you might again lift a couple fingers, maybe lighten the grip of the hand or lift the hand on and off the chair, just to see how your balance is today. Good. If your right hand is lifted, place it back on the chair. Slowly turn your upper body forward, then release that right foot down. That was a pretty quick balance, but it's a good one on that side, so let's do it to the other side. Let's come around, bring the chair over to the opposite side. So your chair is now on the left-hand side of your mat, and you're facing the short end of your mat. So the chair is on your left, you have your left hand on the chair. We're gonna make our right leg now the standing leg. Press down into that right leg, make it strong. Lift up from that downward motion, feel a rising up in the body, and then maybe come off your left heel, maybe your toes, maybe you lift your knee. Take that right arm out to the right and up again, just as high as is comfortable. For some of us, it feels better to rest the hand on the right shoulder, and you can do that. For others, it might feel better to extend. You can take that right hand now down and across to that left leg, and slowly start to turn to look over the chair. Make sure you're working that right leg. That's where the effort truly is down the stabilizing muscles of the right leg. Working with balance here if you're choosing to, or maybe you're holding the chair and breathing. Good. If your left hand is lifted, make sure to place your left hand back onto the chair before you unwind, releasing that left foot onto the floor. Returning to your Tadasana, closing the eyes if it's comfortable. Taking 3 nice full deep breaths. Good. Let's take the chair now to the back of the mat. So for you, the back of the mat would be one of the short ends, typically. But for me, I'm turning it so you can see me. And you're going to come back to sit in your chair. And I'm going to encourage you now to sit all the way into the back of your chair. So you're leaning against the back of the chair. Feet resting on the floor or on blocks or maybe books if you have them close by. Allow your hands to rest in your lap. Soften as much as you can in your body. Let go of what can be let go of. Rest where you can rest. Gently, slowly allowing the eyelids to grow heavier over the eyes. To release now that yogic breath. And to feel your natural breath come back in. Your natural rhythm. Let's take a few moments here together in our Savasana. Feeling breath move easily through the body. Feeling the body become more still, more quiet. Guiding the mind in a kind way towards a place of ease and rest. There will always be things to think about, always be things to analyze or figure out, problems to solve, things to remember. And for this moment, right here and now, give the mind a moment to feel at ease, to unhook from all of its processing, and to just kind of bathe in a quietness. I'll bring us back to close the practice together.